If you ask pretty much anyone under the age of 21 to name, describe or point out a rally car, this is more than likely what he'd be thinking of, the Subaru Impreza. Whilst other cars have won more championships and more rallies, this is still the one car which somehow seems to evoke everything, the magic and mastery of rallying over the past 15 years.
The coolest car was the two-door Impreza. Like, I think that's, I think maybe it's the P2000, like big guards, big spoilers, cool-looking car, and I think that's got to be it.
It did change the way of modern rallying. When it came out, there was nothing really to compete with it. In the days when Colin was driving it, it was so far in advance of everything else. Iconic car. It's been the same colour. It's got this sort of cult following with the colour. All the team wears the same, people buying the shirts and so on. Fantastic car. It's made us world champion. It made us runner-up in the World Championship 3 times as well. We've got a lot to thank the Impreza for. It is a fantastic car.
Subaru's grassroots were in engineering. From planes to trains to buses. And their automobiles were more likely to be found on the farm than in motorsport.
There was lots of analogies drawn with, Subaru and the farmer's vehicle and everything, but I think the real step started from the 90s onwards, the early 90s, when we started with the legacy. David Richards heading the team and taking it all forward. The team had a very young culture because we were taking young drivers and we had experienced drivers, but the younger drivers were always pushing and the team was quite young.
In the early 90s, the Japanese manufacturer approached the rally preparation outfit ProDrive to produce a car for both road and rally. After a brief and successful period with the Legacy, 1993 saw the birth of the Impreza, and it almost won its debut event at the hands of Ari Vatanen.
It's been iconic. It's been the whole concept, the boxer engine. Nobody else uses a boxer engine. There's very, very low centre of gravity, the transmission system.
When it did win its first event in Greece the following year, it marked the start of something very special. Let's go back to 1995, and with Carlos Sainz and a young Colin McRae behind the wheel, the Subaru was dominant. Its superiority forcefully demonstrated when it swept the top 3 places on 2 successive rallies, an amazing feat. And especially when you consider they were 2 very different events, the fast sweeping tarmac curves of Spain and the mud, sweat and tears of the RAC rally in the UK.
Colin really was a lot to do with it as well. It really showed the car off for just how it worked and handled, and it was a great scene to watch on the stage, and his antics. And a lot of the other drivers as well were very good in the car, and we had lots of good strong results. And we seemed to dominate for quite a while. The team was very young and fresh, and it was like a fresh look in the rally.
The Impreza in both Group A and WRC form won 3 consecutive manufacturers' titles in 95, 96 and 97. And gave Colin McRae, Richard Burns, the best in the world, and Petter Solberg their championship crowns. And the best bit about it?
I think it's the fact that you can nearly buy the same car on the street, and like some of my mates have got WRXs, and like it's not such a different car to what I race, so it's pretty cool, and like they're good fun to drive.
Your road car is almost the same, or it's exactly the same layout. You can't buy a four-wheel drive turbocharged Ford Focus, for instance, but I think that's another reason why the Impreza has been so popular and so successful, is you can actually go in the showroom, buy a blue one with gold wheels, boxer engine, exactly the same layout as the rally car. So probably that's one of the biggest reasons it's been so popular.
The Impreza has become iconic. The blue and yellow paintwork, the huge spoilers, the air vents. And as modern technology takes rally into people's homes in all types of guises, the Impreza will be imprinted on their minds for many years to come.
I think it's quite important that you keep a true identity in the championship. It doesn't confuse people, and it relates directly to that. And obviously, as marketing people think of all these things, but everyone relates when they see blue. They think Subaru. It's just embedded in everyone's minds now.
So we all time try to make a nice design, make a nice car, and keep their design, the same color for many years, and also that makes a big influence on the history of cars.
Most children have heard of the Subaru Impreza, and I think with all the games with Colin McRae, PlayStation, all that sort of thing, that really brought it on as well. So everyone relates. If you say rally, they say Subaru Impreza.
So the Subaru Impreza, possibly one of the most iconic rally cars ever made. And have you ever wondered what it looks like from behind the windscreen? Well, one man that knows all about how that feels is Chris Atkinson. And we caught up with him earlier this year to show you around.
I'm Chris Atkinson from the Subaru World Rally team. Today I'm going to show you through my office the Subaru Impreza World Rally Car 2006. Hope you enjoy the show. Okay, here we go, hopping into the car. It's not as easy as a road car to get into. Obviously we've got the roll cage and then deep bucket seats. A lot of differences obviously between the road car and this car. Two of the biggest ones you can see here, both the handbrake lever and the gear shift, totally different to a normal car. Normally you'd have a gear shift here, but we've actually got a handbrake lever which helps us do handbrake turns in tricky situations, or if we're going too fast to a corner we can quickly pull it and it'll get us out of an understeer or something like that. Also we've got the gear shift here, which is a lot easier than a normal road car. We just pull up, you can do it with one finger if you want, and that will shift up gears and push away to go down gears. You don't have to use a clutch or anything like that. You can stay full throttle and just keep pulling up gears, which is quite good fun. It's easy to drive. As you can see here, this is the steering wheel of the Impreza World Rally car. It's actually made of carbon fibre, so it's lightweight, which is good for the centre of gravity, and that because it's quite up high. Also, there's a lot of buttons here. Quite simple to use, really. We've just got a washer and wipe, and a marker button, which helps the engineers. If we have a problem with the car, we can press that red button and that will put a mark in the data. And the other two are just for our headlights and our launch control, which we use at the start line. Generally during the stage you don't use them much, just the washer, but Glenn's also got them on his side, so he can use them if we have some mud come on the windscreen or something like that. Obviously a lot of controls here that are different to a road car as well. We've got a lot of circuit breakers, which we've got to put all these in. We've got a system when we start the car, and then once we're going on the stage as well. So we put all of them in, and hopefully they all stay in and we have no problems. When we're talking about the start of a stage, firstly we've got a gear selection device here, which is obviously different to a car again. We've got a road mode and a stage mode and reverse, and obviously neutral. So obviously put the clutch in and then select either road or stage depending what we're going to do, and then drive off and use the gears. Another switch which is very important at the start of the stage is the anti-lag switch, and this gives us instant response. So you don't want to run with this when you're driving along slowly because it builds up an enormous amount of heat in the turbo, but we turn it on at the start of the stage, usually onto 3 the maximum, and go flat out. It gives great response, and you can let the car go really slow and then hit the throttle and you've got full boost, which is amazing to drive. From this angle you can see we're sitting a long way back as well. We're back here with the B pillar, which is nearly halfway in the back seat, and that means the steering wheel and the pedals are all brought this way, and this helps with the centre of gravity. We're sitting low and far back, so the car's nice and balanced, and this all helps with performance. Just some other small features, obviously the safety thing is a big thing. You've got a massive roll cage, huge amounts of tube all throughout the car, and then the seats with these special head devices and 5-point harnesses as well to hold us in tight so we don't move. As you can see, when we're going over big jumps and things like that, it's quite tricky, and you can get thrown around, but this holds us in place well, and it means we can keep focused on the road.
60, keep right on crest, then short left, and 7 right and short left.
Okay, as you can see from this angle, we're sitting quite low in the car again, down low with the steering wheel as well. Another point on the steering wheel is the surface. It's made of a special felt material which matches the gloves, so if we hit a rock or want to throw the car into the corner, we've got good grip. Another special feature of these cars is the felt on the dash here, which helps with the sunlight coming in. There's no glare. On a normal dash you'd get glare into your eyes, but with this felt it nullifies the glare, and then you can see the road and have no problems driving.
6 right, cross open, 40. Late 6 right on crest, seats in, up very long, 5 left open, caution brake, crest, 7 right.
As you can see from this angle again, the pedals are a long way back, but generally the setup's the same as a normal road car. You've got your throttle, brake and then clutch. Generally the only two we care about are obviously the throttle and the brake. The brake's a lot bigger than a normal brake pedal, and it's also a lot harder to push. This gives you better feedback and better feel. Generally, you use our left foot to brake and our right foot to use the throttle, and don't worry about the clutch. The clutch is just for road sections and just for stopping at traffic lights, otherwise we don't use it. So that's how they work. But I hope you enjoyed the time in my Subaru Impreza World Rally car.
So, proof then, if needed, of just how technologically advanced these machines are. From the outside, they may look similar to a road car, but under the skin, they're anything but. After the break, the force is with France in the WRC era. Don't go away.